So hi there, welcome to the solution for the same teaser with the dates part 2. Now if this is the first video you are watching, there's a link below that shows you the video for the problem and the first strategy for solving the problem. But basically you are asked to do the following. So the summary is just this: there's a club there's a list of membership or members list for a club that has 17,735 members, and they want to give special awards to those who registered first. This list spans over 60 years, and there's an Excel spreadsheet that also shows the list. And I think I should just show you that shortly. So basically, the goal is to use no more than 10 lines of code in Stata to retrieve the names of all eligible members and create another Excel file with this information. So the whole goal is just to see that we can produce efficient code, so we can have shorter codes, efficient codes, faster delivery in the way we approach data management. So I'll just go briefly to the Excel sheet, and you just have a sense of it. And it may not be as easy as you think. The links also to the files are also in the video below. So this is the Excel spreadsheet talking about the month every member registered, the day they registered, the year they registered, and the registration ID. Our goal is to extract 60 names. So you go through the years, pick the first person for each year, and then extract to another Excel spreadsheet. Quite straightforward what you are required to do. So I'm sure if you have worked on this, you first see the challenge is that you can't sort by year and month. It will sort alphabetically. So April will be the first month of the year instead of January. But if you want to try it the manual way, go ahead and try it. But you can do it in a quick time, probably less than 15 minutes if you know what to do in Stata. So that's what we're going to just show in Stata. And this is the second method of solving the problem. The first method had been shared a few days back. So the link to the solution for the first one is also here, and of course the link to the video of the problem in detail you can also find in these links. So please, if you have a third solution and you are sure it's going to be less than 10 lines, please try. And I want to say this quickly: when you try the thing, just compare the results so we don't waste time. Some people are sharing codes that cannot work. They already have errors in them. So it's not just something theoretical. I want you to really practicalize it, produce your codes, show to the world, and let's all learn from each other. So we'll just go straight again to the Stata interface and try to keep it as short as possible. This is universal. You have to import the file. So I'm not going to waste so much time here. You are going to import the file into Excel. The next thing you are going to do actually is to now I'll just make a few comments here. In the solution one, instead of saying clear and then import, we just say import comma clear. So that also saves us some space. It's the same thing basically. You don't need a separate clear command for this. Okay, the other part is actually now trying to work around that January, the months that are already in string. So let's import it straight away, and then let's check what it looks like in the data editor window. So we have month in strings, day and year in string. When I did the first method, we made them string and then combined them. So there is other ways of doing it. So this time around, I want to make all this numeric. So days is already numeric, year is already numeric. I want to make match numeric. And I've taught you these codes if you have, attended my, or you may have known it. If you know how to use the encode command, you can convert this into a number, numeric, but just a twist to it. So if you're in the beginner class, I will add a twist. I talked about options. I'm going to add options here. Okay, not to waste so much time. So I would say label define months. Now there's also a way of writing label define months, not the type you found out in this thing. I say one is January, Janu. Now it's very important that you spell the words exactly the way that you find them here, otherwise you will run into problems, trust me. And I always tell people, when they say, what happens? Then you just try it. I just tell people, try it, spell March wrongly or spell April wrongly and see what happens. That's the best way, to experiment. I have short time here. So that's how I do. I go on February and I go on like this to type in the entire definition. So when you finish typing the entire definition, you'll be able to capture for the entire months. The next thing to do is use what we call the encode command. Encode command converts strings to categorical variables. So, and that's what we have here already. We want to convert these to categorical variables and thereby making them numeric. The other reason is that because you sort by April, because of alphabet, you want to convert it to a number so that when you have it, when Stata recognizes it numerically, it will know that January is 1 and April is 4, or the 4th month in the year. So that's what we have done here by the definition. 1 is January, 2 is February, and then I use the encode command. I'll just say encode month registration, gen month, and lab month. So what that does is gives those strings numeric values. So let's look at that, and it generates another variable called month here. So let's look at that quickly. Run all of them and look at it. So there's March here, September to September, but September is 9, April is 4. Let's look for January. Any January here? Okay, that's a January here. January is 1. You can see the value right here where my mouse is. So that's all it does here. So we've already discussed this in also the beginner session, how to encode using the encode command. Okay, so we've done this. So the next thing actually is to generate a date variable now, combining that. So there's a function called mdy. So basically I'm saying generate, I think, registration date, following the same thing we did, and we called it, I think, Stata, equals to mdy. Now when you do it right, you get the blue symbol. So what it's just saying is I want to generate a date. If I have the numeric values for the month, which is now month here, plus numeric value for the day, which is day of registration, just quickly, I really want to try and be done in 15 minutes. Okay, and then comma year of registration. Okay, when I do that, I have that. So I could also quickly format. In the last example or last method, I did not format. I still had luxury of doing that or not. And where are you? So just for you to see that the dates align. Okay, let's run again quickly and look again. So you see this is 5th March 2013, but now when they are combined, 5th March 2013, so we have that. So we'll sort now, we don't need this line too. We'll sort from the highest to the lowest. So we sort by year of registration and then the new red Stata data. That's what we do. Then we try to extract the first serial across each year. That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to generate it so it orders it within the year. So basically that's what we have. We have sorted by the registration date. Another way of actually doing it is just sort by registration date. You don't need the year, but you want to know the first within every year. So that's why you say bysort the first year and generate year serial. So what it just does, let me run that quickly. It shows me which one of them is the first in the year. 1 minute, please, just checking. There seems to be an error somewhere. Okay, sort rate. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. It's data. So let's run now. Okay, so we can run now. So we are sorting by this first day. So you see serial within the year is first. Let's go down to the end of the year, or go down to 1962. Control F, 1962. So you see the year ended with 293, and then someone registered on the 1st of January 1962. He is the first. So the goal is to get the first people who registered there, and that's why we're going to write this code quickly. So this is a powerful Excel code. It says export Excel, registration ID, day of registration, month of registration, because these are details that will greatly help us provide evidence. So these 4 variables will provide evidence that you did your job properly. Otherwise, all they need is registration ID. But who qualified? When did they register? To be good to give your client that information. So that's these 4 variables that you see here. You realize that we didn't really worry about the variable we just created because we've sorted it out. And then you need to create the path where the file is going to be. Sorry, I did not mention you would also create the sheet. So I could call this sheet. Okay, we've called the file awardees, but you can call the sheets. If you had other things you wanted to do, you could also call it awardees or list of awardees. And the most important thing is you are saying, I want number 1 on every year's list, which you are done in line 9. Then the first row will be variables, and then you can replace sheet if that sheet had been there before. If you look at this closely, we have just used less than 10 lines of code to achieve the same goal. So I just want to run to the end, see if there's any error. Everything is smooth and fine. We're going to look shortly at the output, but just to be sure, this is line 1 here, line 2. The encode is line 3. The generating of that variable is line 4. This is line 5. This is line 6. Line 7. We're able to do all that in 7 lines of code. So you can be very efficient. So I see a lot of Stata codes around that are just, so large, and they're not as effective as lines like this. So let's look at the output quickly, and hopefully you can produce yours too. So this is the output. This was the output we got for the first one we did, for the first methodology we used. We just did registration ID and the date, which was not even in a good form. So apologies for that. That's why when I did this second style, I just added. So if you have watched the first video, just add these 3 variables or 4 variables to export Excel, and you'll be fine. So basically, you can even see here that some people registered on the 3rd. So not everybody was 1st of January, 2nd of January of these years, those who registered, and it's telling me their IDs. So you have to be very careful, because I'm sure some people thought if you are going to solve this problem, you have to go and get the 1st of January for every year. Bingo, you just bring it out. You'll be in trouble, big time trouble. So that's it basically. Let me know in the comments if you have another method. I think this is everything I know basically about how to resolve a problem like this, but you may have another idea apart from the 2. But the real goal is how to dynamically work on the dates and produce a date that you can sort properly within the year. So thank you so much for your time. I would see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. There are quite a number of things you can learn from there. Thank you. God bless.